Covering 110 acres and over 20% of Animal Kingdom, Kilimanjaro Safaris is the largest Disney attraction on the planet. Join us for this wild ride-along. Welcome, not so foolish mortals. This is Mouseterclass.
My name is Erica and I will be your safari guide out here today on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Now, a couple of reminders before we do head in. You're going to keep all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the ride vehicle at all times. Please make sure to remain fully seated at all times. Alright, everybody, looks like the warden has given us the all clear to head on in. Now, for our safari adventure today, we're headed into the Little Aturi Forest. Now, out here in Aturi, we're trying to look out for animals that do love to hide behind the trees and the bamboo. They're just going to try to blend in with their surroundings. So let's see what we can find. Let's see, looks like I do see our first animal here off to the right-hand side. That's going to be the okapi. Now, the okapi itself, while it may look like a zebra because of the stripes on its legs, it's actually a close relative of the giraffe. In fact, the okapi is one of the only close relatives of the giraffe. And we know that because both male okapis and all giraffes have those horns on their head, and those are called ossicones. Now let's see what else we can find hiding around here. I'm going to say we got some rhinos out here today there, everybody, off to the left-hand side. Now that is going to be a rhino. And it's going to be a black rhino. Now the black rhino in particular is identifiable from the shape of its mouth. Black rhinos tend to have a more triangular shaped mouth, which they love to use to grab things such as plants because rhinos, they are herbivores. They are animals that do only eat plants. Oh, looks like we got the other rhino here off to the left as well, on top of that hill there off to the left. That is also a black rhino. Now, the black rhino itself is going to be a very, very solitary animal. It is one of the smaller types of rhinos. Oh, yeah. This animal that is orange and white stripes here off to the left, that is a bongo. Now, I personally really like the bongo. They're one of my favorites here on the reserve. Bongos, they do get the nickname as the ghost of the forest, and that's because they are rarely seen. In fact, the first picture of a bongo was actually taken in 1980. But all right, it looks like there's a fork in the road up ahead. Well, I don't want to go back to camp because our safari's only just begun. So instead, we're going to head to the right and head into the Salvaje River. Now, out here on Salvaje, we're really just trying to look out for animals that do love to hide underneath the water. So now let's see what kind of animals we can find out here. Okay, I see a lot of birds hanging out around there. Now, the birds with the gray and white feathers, those are the pink-backed pelicans. Now, pink-backed pelicans, they have a wingspan of about 9 feet, which is actually doing the same width as the canopy above your head. Let's see. Looks like I do see some movement here off to the left-hand side. And no, it is not the animal keeper. Looks like I kind of see a hippo. We got some hippos hanging out here off to the left-hand side. Now that is the hippopotamus. Now hippos, they get the nickname as the water horse, and that's because while they can't swim, they simply prefer to walk or run along the river floor. But it looks like I see some crocodiles out here today. Now those are the Nile crocodiles. And these crocodiles, they can get you as long as 16 feet. Which is actually going to be about the same length as a giraffe is tall. But now crocodiles, they often put eggs in their mouth, and that's because they just rattle off that eggshell so they don't hatch. Alrighty, everybody, it's time to head right on out of the Salvaje River and head towards my personal favorite area of the reserve. It's going to be the area that we do spend the most time in here on the safari. We're headed into the savannah. Now, the savannah is the largest and most iconic ecosystem here in Africa, and it's home to animals such as giraffes, zebras, and all kinds of fun other animals. Let's see what we can find here today on this savannah. looks like we got a whole confusion, because a group of wildebeest is known as a confusion. Now these tiny cinnamon-colored animals you see here, those are the springbok. And springbok, while they are tiny, they are mighty, because they're actually the third fastest land mammal in the world. And these animals there with the large white horns on their head, those are the Ankole cattle. The Ankole cattle is going to be one of the only domesticated animals here on the reserve. And I know those horns may look very heavy, but they're actually very, very light inside. They do have a honeycomb shape inside, so they are very, very light. Looks like I do see some more antelopes here off to the left-hand side, and those are going to be the sable antelopes. Now, sable antelopes, they're a very sacred animal here on the reserve because they're actually the emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Now, sables, they have horns that look backwards, and they look backwards on purpose. Those horns are there to make sure that the animal can protect itself from any predators that could jump on its back. Okay, we're going to get a nice view of the wildebeest. Looks like they're all, some of them are migrating. But now, wildebeest, they like to travel together. In fact, we will never see a wildebeest travel alone. In fact, they can travel in herds that can be as big as 1.5 million during the Great Migration right out here in Africa. In fact, that's so big and so large that they even can strap a dust cloud, which then can be seen all the way from outer space. Looks like I see another springbok coming up here off to the right-hand side. Again, that's that tiny cinnamon-colored animal. But it looks like I do see the one, the only giraffe. Everybody coming up here off to the left-hand side. Now out here on the reserve, all the giraffes are Maasai giraffes. And we know that from the shape of its spots. The spots on the Maasai giraffes are going to be pretty rough along the edges and pretty bumpy. Now, if you see how that giraffe is sitting down, now what that behavior tells us is that particular giraffe is feeling very, very safe. Giraffes, they only sit down if they're comfortable in their environment, really not scared of any predators. So when you see a giraffe sitting down like that, it is a very, very good thing. Now, one thing about giraffes, though, is that they like to eat, and they like to eat quite a lot. In fact, if you think you like to eat a lot, giraffes, they spend about 20 hours a day eating. Yeah. Now, it does not leave a lot of room for sleeping, so giraffes, they actually only spend about 30 minutes a day sleeping, because that's not even time for a good nap. Oh, less than an hour sleeping. Oh, but it looks like I see an elephant coming up here off to the right-hand side, everybody. Now that is an African elephant, and we know that, well, of course, because of its size, but a group of elephants is going to be called a memory. And elephants, one of my favorite facts about them is that they actually have more muscles in their trunks than humans do in our entire body. Because humans, we have around 600 muscles in our entire body. But elephants, they actually have over 40,000 muscles in just their trunk. It's going to be very, very strong. Yeah, it's a nice old creaky bridge. Don't you worry, we'll be all good to go. Let's see if we can find some more animals around here. Now, right now we are going to be passing through the red clay pits. You will notice as we drive on through that there are going to be tusk marks in the red clay. And that's because elephants in particular, they love to dig into the red clay to get vitamins and minerals on out of it. Because just like how humans, we need our nutrients, so do the elephants. Oh yeah, there are those flamingos. Now these are the greater flamingos. And a group of flamingos is called a flamboyant. And flamingos, they do get their pink coloring from the shrimp that they do eat. The shrimp is going to contain something called beta-carotene, which gives them their nice little pinkish color. Now, fun fact about the island that they're on, it's actually a hidden Mickey right here in the safari. The shape of Mickey is that island. Now, let's see what other animals we can find hiding around here. Looks like the rhinos have woken up this morning. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And these are going to be the white rhinos. And unlike the black rhino we saw earlier, these rhinos, they tend to have 1,000 to 3,000 pounds. And rhinos, they actually have pretty poor eyesight. They can only see about 10 feet in front of them. That's okay though, because what they do lack in eyesight, they make up for in hearing. They do have excellent hearing. For their ears are also kind of shaped like a funnel. Let's see, and hopefully he is out. Oh, there he is, the one, the only, the Lion King, everybody. Don't you worry, I'm gonna stop for him. It's okay, we don't need to roar at Simba. He's trying to sleep right now. Oh, there he is. I know, you see me, big boy. But now that particular male lion, he is very, very special because he was the model for Simba in Disney's live-action Lion King movie. That group of lions is called a pride, and the lioness, she does all of the hunting for the pride. Speaking of the lioness, looks like, oh, yep, she's going to be out here today, too. Looks like Nala decided to also make an appearance. Look at her. But now the males, while the females hunt, their job is to protect any cubs. And lions, they are nocturnal animals. They do sleep during the day and hunt during the nighttime. Looks like all the rhinos are going to be out today. Now, a group of rhinos is called a crash. And their horns are made up of something called keratin, which is actually the same thing that makes up your hair and your fingernails. I didn't see an ostrich, but it looks like the ostrich just decided to lay a couple eggs there off to the right-hand side, because those are going to be ostrich eggs. Now, ostrich eggs themselves are pretty cool. They are very strong and very durable. In fact, an adult human male can stand on ostrich eggs without breaking them. And they do typically weigh about 3 pounds a piece, which is the equivalent to 24 chicken eggs they could buy at the grocery store. Well, it looks like I do see the warden's post up ahead. While I don't see the warden, I definitely see some goats hanging out around here. And these dwarf goats, along with the Ankoli cattle we saw earlier, they are the only 2 domesticated animals here on the reserve. And I know these goats, they are short, but they're actually fully grown adult goats. What are you, just messing with a coffee cup? Yeah, trying to get all your coffee in? Oh yeah, that's where all the good stuff is. So these are fully grown adult goats. But alright, out here on the reserve, we do not like to say goodbye. Because goodbyes, they are just all too sad and far too final. So instead, we prefer to say kwaherini, which does mean to go well. So on behalf of myself and our entire safari crew, kwaherini, everybody. Go well, go wild, and I certainly hope you have a wild rest of your day here today at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Oh, tidak, di bawah.